2, 1. Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Slash Chat Podcast. I almost said something else. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, she secretly is cheating on her own podcast.
yeah, totally.
Oh, how could you?
I
I'm gone for 3 weeks. This is what happens.
know, Garthel. It's so bad. So bad. But, yes. Hello, and welcome. And it's been a while since we've done like a regular crew one and not a special guest episode. Carthel,
Not enough.
How are
Yes,
you?
We do have a special
I
I
guest.
missed you.
I'm doing
Like,
fantastically. It's good to be missed. So woo.
yeah. Sadly, we
more
still don't have a
importantly-
puppy, but
Yeah, he's still gone. But more importantly, how are you guys going?
good.
Good is good.
Not in a hurricane.
I am.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah.
It's only a tiny one, so it's not like it's gonna kill me or anything. I think.
I'm just picturing it now, like, it's just like tiny, it gets over a city, ramps up, and it's like a giant black hole where the Carthnal was.
That would be scary. I have to admit, that would be.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh god, it's happening.
Oh, but yes.
I will blame you all day if that happens. Just so you know.
Fair enough. So, hello, Gabby. Hello, Mega. How are you guys? Saying hello.
I need to get my chat open.
Aw,
Momentary fix. Momentary fix.
I think Tioger is gonna be in that the entire time.
No, not the entire time.
Just a lot of it.
Just a lot of it.
Now, when I get the metal version done, yeah, I'm gonna be in that the whole time
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
for at least one episode, anyway.
It's very taco today. I have Taco Bell, so does that count?
Taco,
See?
taco, taco.
Taco Bell, Taco Bell, I have Taco Bell. Does that count? But yes, Alex, how are you? What have you been doing this week?
Working and getting yandere eyes. Seriously, I got these bags under my eyes. So bad. So crazy bad.
Dude, join the club.
I have a job.
Work gets to you.
What the fuck?
Hey, I had
Okay.
chat open. Woo.
So you been into anything other than work?
I went to Anime St. Louis with my friend Matt.
Cool.
Did you get to butt touch Nara?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Aw, poor Nara.
Did you get to meet Nara at all?
No.
Aw, how come? Did you avoid them?
Because that's not what Nara said.
Nara's lying.
No, he's not.
Oh, they had that kind of meeting.
Dude. He's a liar with his.
Well,
I can
that's
tell by
what we
that
find
face that it's not a lie.
out.
Oh no, he's lying.
Fun times.
So how was the sex? Was it good?
There was no sex.
Did he take you out on a
This is
date
not
at
the
least?
Story you were looking for.
No. Gosh.
Wow. There's just no information coming out of you, is there?
No.
Well, that's because nothing happened.
Well, that can't be true.
I raved for 45 minutes straight.
Yeah, but that's expected of you, so it's fine.
No, seriously, I did not stop moving for 45 minutes.
Cool. Sounds
You gotta make him feel the bass. Just keep moving. But
okay.
Anime St. Louis was awesome. Got to go to a few panels. I got to meet Kevin Bulk, who's an artist I like, who I talk to on Twitter a lot. What else happened?
I see Cat has a new vaporizer at least.
What happened besides rave? Give the gift of rave. Cat's smoking drugs.
Apparently not very tasty
You can't
ones.
hold down the
No,
marijuana smoke. 420 was.
No, it's a thing of like it.
420 is every day. Smoke.
It like takes a
Day.
while for the coils to heat up, and like it's my first
You would know.
like vape of the day, so like my coils are nowhere
I don't
near
believe
even
that.
heated up, and I'm just like, ah, ah.
It's not the best kind of flavor.
Smoke weed every day. A lot.
The fact is just like, no.
Eh.
Oh no.
Per day. You know what would be funny? If you
Smoke
filled
weed
that
every day.
up with either sulfur hexafluoride or helium, someone do that to her next time. That would be funny. See her talk with either of those.
What would happen if you heated helium?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Ask the scientist.
Hey, Mr. Scientist.
You have hot helium.
Yeah.
You'd have hot
Bad.
helium.
Okay.
You'd have sun fumes.
It would probably, dissipate more quickly.
Cool. That's right, because it's not flammable, is it?
Put
No,
laughing gas in
specifically
there
not.
so she gets all
Yeah.
loopy and high on stream.
It's the other thing that was inside the big giant one that fell and burned. So
Hydrogen.
Never mind.
I bought
Yeah.
some cool shit while I was there.
Cool shit. Show if you
Cool
Let
haven't.
me get my friggin' posters and shit. Hold on.
You gotta get that swag, yo. And I'm never saying that again. Oh dear God.
It's kind of like when I say for shizzle.
Yeah.
It just
Mm.
doesn't sound right.
Bird day.
It just sounds wrong.
So
for
I
some
got
reason.
this fucking metal Okami poster
Cool.
because Kami
Is the poster metal or is it a poster of a metal? Okay.
No, it's awesome. And I got these pictures of my favorite video game consoles. It's awesome. See, you got my 3 favorite game consoles. You got PlayStation 2.
Okay.
You got Nintendo GameCube. And you got Sega Genesis. Look how awesome that is. Look
Those
how
are
sexy
actually
the
really
controller
cool.
is.
Yeah.
Look how sexy that controller is. I mean, damn. All
Yeah.
that-
The
all
controller.
that black
Yeah.
sheen. Oh yeah. Yeah. You gotta use the buttons. Gotta press the X and Y buttons all day, every day.
Yep.
Look how cool that is. Look at that. Makes you want to play GameCube.
I like the PlayStation one.
Yeah, PlayStation 1. Yeah, just put that D-pad all over you, girl.
Or is it a double D pad?
This is
Dude, the
on
way
her
you're talking
ass.
about it.
This is on her ass. So, like, that's. I don't know what's on that. I didn't get a good look. I was too distracted by the ass.
After you're not getting a good look, your face is right there.
I like the Ghost in the Shell hair. And the Sega Genesis one kind of has that too. These are freaking metal. Yeah, you frame that shit. You frame it and hang it on the wall.
You're getting
What else?
oh full creepy
What
of
else
them
I
posters.
get?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's getting weird, man. You should probably
Mm.
stop while you're ahead.
It's getting awkward. Do you want me to leave the room? I mean, do you want some alone time with those?
I got a shirt and stuff.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you
the
don't
day. You
go
already
to
walked
the
away.
thing to get stuff that's not in the artist alley. I got this cool like Skullgirl shirt with like best Skullgirl Valentine. She's like super like crazy nurse girl. She's gonna fuck you up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, never getting treated by that nurse. She's crazy.
Oh yeah, she could treat me every day. She can treat me.
You getting?
Take my blood, girl. You know it. Oh, girl.
I think she's going to take you by the gallon.
Oh
You look
man.
really pretty without handcuffs on. All the blood. on
Yeah,
the
this is
floor.
getting creepy.
Where did Almir go?
I don't know. I
Whatever.
mentioned if Alex
Well,
wanted a lone
if she's
time,
not
then
gonna
she
do
should.
it, then I'm just gonna. Okay, well then I'll. Show you.
Oh, your chance to shine is gone.
You look pretty. You look pretty without handcuffs on, girl.
No, I was
Yeah.
blowing my nose to get out
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
that's
awful.
awesome. I'm so cool. I'll wear this all day every day. Yeah.
Why aren't you wearing it now?
I don't know. I'm wearing my Primus shirt a friend of mine got me.
Cool.
Valentine. You gotta save the girls.
Alex is in a very weird mood today. I think
He
it's
is.
because he conquered, his
No.
waifu yesterday. I mean,
Everyone was really nice to me except for. Wait, was Gabi in the chat?
yes, Gabi is in
Yeah,
the
man.
Gabi was an asshole. Gabi and Karai kept lying to me on stream and stringing me along, the bastards. But yeah, you max
No.
that out. You gotta max the waifu levels to the max.
Yeah, Alex, you're in just like a weird rare form today.
She just comes up to me and she's like, "Can I go
So
to your
perhaps we
room?"
should forcibly move on.
No, I'm not done yet. We're done when I say we're done.
Know what you said to the waifu?
No. We're done when I say we're done. We're done.
So, Cardinal, how's your hurricane?
It's going well. Got sent home from work early, so that could be a good thing. I mean, I need the break. If you can't see going on with my face, I'm tired. Haven't had a day off in a very long time. Almost 4 entire weeks. Oh, dear God. However, I've been playing lots of Minecraft in my spare time because that's the only thing that works at the moment that I haven't already played. Got to get that building on, yo. But other than that, it's just been working like crazy, so it's not really much I can do or talk about, because unless you want to hear about IT work with a crazy server, I don't think anyone wants to hear about that. Not very much at all.
Just work, hurricane, work,
yeah.
hurricane, work, more hurricanes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And not
it's
the
to
fun
point where-
drink kinds, like legit the kinds.
This is, and like New South Wales normally doesn't get them because we're protected by, New Zealand. They usually get everything. So, I mean, I can only guess how they're feeling right now, having a hurricane pass over them and be absolutely crazy. But, it's our turn, I guess. But what worries me more is that server I've been working on. It is absolutely insane. I'd share pictures, but I don't know if they'll show up properly on the webcam. But if it will even filter, you can sort of see it. Can you see that massive cables?
Yeah,
That's
I can
not
see
what
the
a server's
cables. It
supposed
looks
to
like a
look like.
waterfall.
Yeah,
Waterfall of
servers are
cables.
not supposed to look like that. They're supposed to be neat and tidy and not horrible. That's what I had to deal with when I got at work. So, fuck that. That's all I can say. Is fuck that.
So, Tiager,
Yes.
what have you been up to
Right.
this week?
Oh yeah.
Right now, it's just a Pepakora version. But I'm actually working on the DXF files right now to port it over to the CNC plasma table we have at school, because I finished all my welding projects for this semester that I have to get done for class. So now I get to work on what I want to work on, which is me finishing Thor's hammer and me making a full Iron Man suit. Because why the hell not?
So you could be Iron Man walking around with Thor's hammer.
Actually, I'm going to make Thor's hammer, Iron Man suit, an Assassin's Creed blade, the Eye of Agamotto, or whatever the Doctor Strange has, and Captain America's shield, and then just a little circlet that says King of Nerd.
Nice.
And I'm just going to go to conventions like that.
Very cool.
Other than that, a couple of other things. I got I don't know if there's a way I can share it, but I've got some fun pictures of contacts I got in for another costume I'm working on. It won't show up well on this web camera because I tried earlier in the day, but my video camera actually shows up really well. I got some contacts that they make my eyes look like a dark red, but as soon as you hit them with black light or UV light, they kind of glow this orangish reddish color.
Cool.
So
One of these days, Hyogre is going to answer that question by saying, I perfected cold fusion.
well, there was that one time in high school, but I'm not allowed to talk about that. Actually, there was a science project I did in high school that I get a letter every now and then reminding me not to do again, but you know. Funny thing is, I'm not kidding. Anyway,
God damn.
not a whole lot other than, you know, just getting stuff wrapped up for the school year, trying to get as many of my little side projects out of the way as I can. It looks like I will have access to most of the equipment over the summer, but it doesn't look like I'll have access to anything in the machine shop. So it'll just be the weld lab, which is enough to do a lot of the stuff I want to do, but there's some of the stuff I want to do in my career. So I'm trying to get all the machine stuff out of the way as soon as I can. And my one friend at school, it looks like he's going to have access to his 3D printer project over the summer. And a kilo of material costs about $30. So I'm hoping I can get in on that more because I've got a whole cluster to build too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be building a steel Iron Man suit. I'll probably just do a fiberglass one off of that at some point because then that's just doing molds and that's easy. Oddly enough, the molds will probably cost more than the Iron Man suit does. I've got a rescue to make for somebody. You can imagine who.
Woo.
I've got a steampunk one I want to work on, and I want to finish that one before Jim Butcher's new steampunk series comes out, so I can wear that to a signing. And then I got to do the Hulkbuster for Josh, and then we're just gonna blare. You know, we're gonna put big bass speakers in his shoulder pauldrons and just have it blare. You know, Aussie for any convention just walking. Other than that, honestly, not a whole lot. Just trying to get stuff done. Gaming wise, mostly been playing 7 Days to Die, really enjoying Unity 5. Played a good bit of Cities Skylines. I think I'm actually starting to get the hang of it. It works a little different than SimCity, but it's still good. So it's going to be some fun. If anyone has any tips, feel free to share. That's it.
Build two-way streets.
Well, yeah.
So
It's the only one I can give
Yeah.
I live in Pittsburgh. I know better than to have one-way streets everywhere.
you.
Sorry.
So this last week, I didn't really do much of streaming. Really just wasn't feeling well. And then Saturday, actually everything I've been doing this week has been on Jack LaFear's channel. Because Saturday he did a 20-hour marathon for Give the Kids the World, which is a charity event that is currently actually still going. So if anyone is still interested in being a good Samaritan and giving money to a good cause, you can check out Jack LaFear's channel and click on the banner below, and there's still a donation link for it. His goal is to get $5,000, and they're currently at, I think, 4,600 or something like that, somewhere close to that.
Nice.
Yeah. For the 28-hour, it was a 20-hour, but then it turned into a 28-hour marathon. The marathon itself raised 4,100. So slowly but surely, there's been more added after the marathon was over.
So he wants to reach that goal.
Yep. So, Give the Kids the World is still going on. I couldn't say, Kat, did you ever get your cheesecake facial? No, I did not. I did, however, eat the cheesecake. And I put a little bit on my nose, a little bit. But I didn't get to hit the 5,000 and put cheesecake on me, so.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, I had it ready. I had it all primed and ready to go, and I was gonna join Jack with the whole, he had a cheesecake beard and cheesecake on his eyebrows, but Yes, thank you, Panzer. The link for the charity. Wait, is that the right one?
Maybe.
Yes, yes it is. Oh, I want to check that out really quick. If we can see how much is currently. Nope, we're at 4,260. I got the 2 and 6 mixed. Sorry. So, we still need 840 to go. Which isn't bad. It's really not that bad, especially when the goal was 5,000. But yes, if you feel like donating, you can click the link. Then that night I did a conversation, obligatory conversation, which had people like Bacon Donut. We had Richard Hammer. We had Future Man Gaming. We had Viking Lass. We had Marathi for a little bit, I think. I'm trying to think. We had. Who was the other person? There was another person that was there. I can't think of who they were. But that whole night is kind of like a blur to me because I ended up staying up for like the 28 hours.
Way too long.
And then I slept for 17 after that. And then I woke up and did another obligatory conversation. So literally everything I've done this week has been pretty much on Jack LaFear's channel.
Cool.
But yeah, it's awesome. Speaking of anime conventions, next month, actually, the very last 2 weeks of May, I will be going to Fanime, which is in San Jose, California. So I'm still trying to work out a way to arrange to still do podcasts and still stream that 2 weeks. It just might be a little bit more sporadic. Hey, Nara! Hi, Nara, how are you? So Nara, tell me how you and Alex were.
Yes, we must know the gossip.
We must know. But yeah, so I also have things in the works for May for the stream.
Awesome.
I'm currently working with another person to make a new show. And it will run after /chat podcast.
Ooh.
If people are familiar with my YouTube channel at all, I can tell you that it's not /camp, it's not /played, it's not /chat, and it's not /otaku.
It's /roleplay.
So
Sometimes.
you didn't hear it. I didn't say it. So
He said it.
Well, I'm right. So the only
What else could it
slash you
be?
didn't mention- It's the only slash you didn't mention. So
I didn't say anything.
unless you're starting something new, and let's face it, you don't have any of the effort to do that.
I could.
Plenty efforts.
No. Be honest. It's not good to lie to the public.
Actually, I could. I've actually been brainstorming other things too.
So you are doing /roleplay.
I'm not obliged to say.
You mean you can't confirm or deny it?
I cannot confirm or
Okay.
deny.
That's okay.
Say everything
We
else
all know
but
what
it.
the answer is. She's going to do /roleplay again.
But
That's
it
why so that
will.
would be pretty cool.
Because if
to see
she
that.
wasn't, she would just say no.
So
I would bring my popcorn and watch that. I'm just saying.
So the best thing about that though is it's going to be every week after podcast, and it's not going to be a static group.
Have you picked out like the game you're playing? I mean, if it's role playing.
Let's see. Yes and no. Mainly because my inspiration for the upcoming show is Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Whose Line
Cool.
is an anime? I watched that. That was pretty funny.
So,
There was something at the convention they did that.
That would be pretty funny.
World's worst. It was the world's worst game. And they say world's worst voice actor, and one of the guys just gets up and goes, "Hi, my name's Vic Mignogna."
Oh.
So funny. 'Cause one, you sounded just like him, and two, he's completely right. He's in every single anime, and he needs to slow down. Some people were offended by that, but me and my friend Matt, we were cracking up. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised
no,
there were
that's
people
fine.
rolling on the floor laughing.
Whose
on
line
that
is it
one.
role play?
But yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. Heads up, there is absolutely no prep work for each session at all. No prep work.
My favorite kind.
So
The stuff that happens in groups when there's no prep work is usually kind of
Points don't
fucking
matter,
hilarious, though.
so.
Exactly.
yeah.
Points don't matter.
So it's gonna be
that
fun.
was kind of sort of the title of it, where the XP doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's like perfect.
But so yeah, it's going to launch May 5th, I think it is, or is it May 6th?
I wouldn't count on it.
Uh,
Yeah, we know that
it's
you're,
going to be launched
You're
May
not going
6th.
to prepare it. What makes us think that you're gonna make it on time?
Because the only thing that I have to hash out right now is just running the show.
So, what kinds of games are you gonna have for this? Are you gonna do like scenes from a hat? Are you gonna do props? Are you gonna do party quirks?
No, you'll just have to find out.
That's her way of saying I have no idea. I have no plan for this.
Actually, no, I have an entire
hope
like
this
5-page document
Burn
right now.
off a cliff.
No. There is prep work to do the show, to get the show running, but as soon as that prep work's done, the show runs itself, essentially, is what
Cool.
I'm saying. So it's definitely going to be one of those things that every single week is going to be a completely new experience. And this is what I mean, but I'm not doing a static group. If people happen to get in it for a second time or a third time, that's just what happens. But it's not going to be like, it's going to be the same people each week. I'm going to try and get as many people involved as I can. So, like I said, that launches May 6th. So there's roughly 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that.
Awesome.
But it's going to be right after Slash Chat Podcasts.
It's real close to our birthday, too.
Mmm.
Mm.
Disorganized cat is not surprising. It's so true.
Not
There
surprising
is
at
no
all.
other kind of cat.
So yeah. Other than that, I've just been catching up on this new season of anime, which I watched. I didn't watch any anime for 2 weeks. Literally.
Oh, God. I just realized I have like 4 weeks
Okay,
anime I can catch up on. Yes.
Wally the Legend has been starting to move, in addition to video game videos on YouTube, he's starting to do anime, and he did an anime video where he kind of sort of reviewed.
Huh.
So I didn't see the whole video he did, but I'm watching him like, this doesn't look like what Kat described. Now I'm actually interested in it.
Well, season 1 Tokyo Ghoul, absolutely amazing. Season 2, I'm still trucking along with it. But yeah, no. Alex, who has the better hair now? Nara's glorious Jufro or Kyogre's luxurious locks?
What kind of question is that?
He wants to know.
Mainly. Pretty much.
Didn't that guy die?
Oh! Yes! Oh! Yay! Sorry, trailer 2 for Attack on Titan live action.
Oh,
My friend Matt was the only Vash the Stampede at the entire convention.
Well, that's just sacrilegious. That's what that is.
Everyone comes over to him and was like, you're the only Vash here. And I'm like, oh my God, he's the only Vash here. And I'm like, these poor children and their sword art cosplay. By the fine Nara, the answer is obviously Jeremy's luscious locks. Obvious.
Luscious.
So, since there have been a couple of anime versions of Iron Man, should I do an anime Iron Man suit too, so I can go to conventions?
Does he have spiky hair?
It
and
would let you
giant
go to
ears?
all of the conventions.
Just make an
Isn't
Iron
it just
Man.
the regular Iron Man suit, really?
Not quite. The Ultimate Iron Man is actually quite different.
Oh, okay.
At least
It's
it's
part
not
of
like
where I'm pulling
Gotham
files
Knight
for
Batman.
the
Ugly.
rescue for the head. Because you got to get ahead in life.
I'm kind of figuring out where Nara's pointing that.
That comment.
Yeah, like I don't even know what to describe that as.
Probably at Cardinal, which would mean he's being
What?
very rude.
But he
No.
agreed to the mutiny, though.
Cardinal
wouldn't
didn't
do that
do
to me.
anything to you.
Cardinal agreed to the mutiny.
I just wanted to play along. Jeez.
All the more reason. that-
Okay, it's pointed at you, Alex.
No, it's not. You can't take it back. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. I don't give a shit what you have to say.
Because you denied your love, guys. You can't do that, Alex. Can't do that to Nara.
There was
No.
like girls in the dancing room. One of them was twerking, and I'm like, I'll leave you to your twerking.
I'm surprised you were just like, hello.
No, there was like the men at twerk, like people, like these guys who were wearing like security outfits and holding a sign. that
Treadfoot.
said
That's so
men-
true.
I'm not even signs that say men at twerk, and I'm just like moving around and giving them a thumbs up. I'm like, there's like that. I'm like Chris Pontius in Jackass, Party Boy. I was dancing like that. Only I had clothes on. I promise.
Panzer, I completely agree. There-
Yeah, I think I might have to agree with that one.
Yeah, totally.
Mm.
Nara was stalking me, and I was trying to run away.
Ah,
Did you need an adult?
I am an adult.
I was waiting for someone to say it.
Cat, you are not an adult. No, 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 no.
Can I pretend?
Inara, if it hurts so much.
You may be
Why don't you
age-
dodge?
You may be 25 years old, but you are not an adult.
Can I pretend?
If you are, then God help him.
Please?
You ever heard of that only being an adult between the hours of 9 to 5? After that,
Yeah.
You can fake it as long as you want.
But no, so there's gonna be interesting things for the show. I've like I said, I've been working a lot on getting stuff up and running, seeing that I've not been feeling well, so I really am just like working on getting new layouts, getting new graphics, new artwork, stuff like that.
You should get my friend Matt to make an animation for your channel or something.
I
He's making
actually,
an animation for our channel.
yeah, I actually
Felix is in it.
saw on Twitter earlier today, which I'm fingers crossed that I actually hear back from him. But I commissioned some fan art. So hopefully there'll be like a little chibi me at some point that I can like put up somewhere. I would like
Cool.
to kind of get some other little like chibis for people and start promoting.
I have
like-
mine you can steal.
That's true. But put up little chibis for people, I think would be really cool. But we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully they'll get back to me on that. Because like I said, it was through Twitter. And they were doing like literally $15, like $15 for like a full colored bust of a chibi. So I'm
Ooh.
like, ooh, $15. Yeah, I'll commission artwork for that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hells yeah.
So I'm gonna try and reach out to kind of more artists that do stuff and see see what I can get. But yeah, I'm gonna do some site overhaul too as well. I just need to be motivated and write my to-do list.
Streamer. She wants to be like her, like all the other streamers she looks up to. That's adorbs.
Adorbs. Adorbs. But yeah. So,
Hey, at least you got a plan.
topic for this week is a topic that I've been considering and I actually argued about with someone a little bit.
Ooh.
A little bit. And it's going to touch on essentially what is classified as hard games or high skill games, aka like Dragon Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, stuff like Bashi or I Want to Be the Man, Wings of V, stuff that is
I want to be the man. You mean I want to be the guy?
I want to be the guy. Yeah, sorry. I
want to be the man.
I want to be the man.
You want to be.
No, the reason I say that is because that's, I think, what the tagline for Man vs. Game used when he's like, I want to be the guy. It's like, no, I want to be the man. But yeah, so games like that have like a kind of a high skill rate. Because the reason I had this conversation was because someone told me that, like, I want to say Dragon, but it's not. It's Demon Souls, goddamn.
Dragons on the brain.
Dark Souls and yeah, sorry. I don't know why I have like not the right name in my head, but Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne. Yeah. Because people were telling me, no, they're not really that difficult. And I'm like,
well, those guys are big fat fucking liars.
Yeah, but sometimes these sorts of
They are
games
lying.
are difficult to people.
I mean,
There are
yeah,
others
if you
that are.
play them and you're used to the series and you're used to difficult games, of course they're not going to be difficult towards you. Like, but someone like
Well-
me who plays Darksiders and I'm like, oh god, why? I'm like,
Well, this is going to be an interesting discussion because I got a few things to say about this.
well, the floor is open. Whoever wants to
Yeah,
discuss,
okay.
discuss.
Now, one thing that we kind of have been brought up before is like when I'm reviewing a game and I never want to put in my review, this game was too hard. First of all, because that makes you look like a pussy. I mean, second of all, saying something is too difficult is it being extremely vague. I mean, what makes the game difficult?
Also, isn't that very opinion?
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously it's an opinion, but saying that it's too difficult is much more subjective than saying there is an uneven curve of difficulty. Like it gets very hard early on and you don't have enough time to adjust the controls or you're not leveled up enough. Or so there's varying levels of what makes a game difficult. In the case of something like Dark Souls, at least from my experience, is that it just sort of throws a lot at you with very limited time for you to rest. I mean, it's supposed to be hard. Now, the controls are okay. They're a little stiff, but that's kind of part of it. It's really that it doesn't give you money rations, so to speak. Like items are rare. You lose them all when you die and you got to go get them again. So determining if a game is difficult really comes down to why is it difficult? Of course, a lot of games use one-hit kill deaths like Super Meat Boy and Ghost of
Anything
Goblin.
with like a kill switch is the only time I find a game difficult, where it's like if you don't do exactly the one thing that works, nothing works and you're dead. That's annoying as fuck.
So,
Now-
aka Bashi and stuff.
Yeah, if you give a game that's hard because of options, that's cool. Because you get to figure out your own way to beat something, or you can copy everyone else. But that's why I think games like Dark Souls for me are easier, because you can figure that shit out on yourself and just be like, all right, this will work.
That's a good
Go
point.
into it.
These games, they're hard, but they give you the tools needed that if you get good with the tools, you can do it. Like I reviewed a game called Isbara for Hardcore Gamer. It is a bullet hell platformer. And bullet hell games are fucking difficult. They're like, like Ikaruga and R-Type and like Toho stuff.
Mm.
I think that's the Toho project. They are difficult because there's a gazillion projectiles on screen and you have to dodge them all. You can't get hit once. So
The
Isbara
Toho stuff's probably the worst.
is absurdly difficult. It's one of the most difficult games I've ever played, but they give you tools like you can slow down time. You use the mouse to guide your dashes, so you have the abilities needed to overcome this. You just have to be good with them. You don't feel like you're powerless, at least not when you beat it. I mean, at first you're like, fuck this shit. I can't believe I can do this. But when you're given the proper tools, when you're given the abilities that if you get good with them, you can do it. And that's what happened. Eventually I started to figure all this out. I started to be able to thread the needle between projectiles. I was able to draw platforms to block them. So even though it was mind-bogglingly difficult, I still felt like I had what I needed to beat it. It just took skill. That was a good example of difficulty. It was ungodly difficult, but I never felt like I was in over my head. That's good, but really good difficulty. Now, bad, really, really high difficulty is a game that encumbers you, doesn't give you the skills you need. This is usually from games that have very bad control. I'm trying to think of like a good example of that. Most of these are like indie platformers, or like I Want to Be the Guy is difficult for the sake of being funny. I mean, it's unfair because there's no way to predict what platform is going to drop beneath you. So I really don't like bringing that to the difficulty argument because it's intended to kill you because it's all about trial and error. It is 100% trial and error. There's no way to know. Same thing with Cat Mario, which is just, it's a troll game. I mean,
well, a good example of your difficult because mechanics, honestly, I would say would probably have to be one of the first Assassin's Creed. Because when you play the very first Assassin's Creed, the mechanics there, you're like, I know I should be able to do this, but then when you start doing it, and you climb up a building, and then suddenly you are like pressing the right button, like in your mind, you're pressing the right button to like do a ledge jump up, but then your character does a backflip off the wall and you die, is kind of bad mechanic.
it's hard to connect that to. I mean,
is it weird that I never had that problem with the first Assassin's Creed? Like,
well, using the
I freaking love
word
that game.
difficult to describe that is sketchy. I mean, the context of something being difficult, usually like if the mechanics are broken, in the case of what, similar to what Assassin's Creed is, you don't really feel like that's difficulty, that's just bad design. It makes it harder to deal with. It's more a case of what constitutes difficulty or not.
Bad design can make games more difficult. I mean, take like Battlefield 3's freaking campaign. You can't do anything that you want to do. Like if you go off too far to the left, you just got instant shot and dead. Like you.
Yeah, that's more
can
bad
make it
design than difficult.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Difficulty
Bad
is like-
design can lead to difficulty because it makes it harder to figure stuff out.
I think it can lead to frustration.
Oh god, yeah.
Not so much. I mean, that's why I was saying difficulty is a very, it's a word that is like has certain places where it kind of belongs, but other places you just feel a little bit awkward and thing.
Well,
don't
isn't
get me
it
wrong? I mean, I think that bad control can make it more frustrating. I mean, a game that I feel is difficult because of its mechanics and its design is I Am Bread. Because they're so big and they demand you to set them up a certain way. And it also depends on what kind of game are we talking about. Like a puzzle game can be difficult because the puzzles are very cryptic or they're very obtuse. They don't make sense when you figure them out. Also,
really, really considering the word difficult, isn't that a very perception-based word? Because something that I would find extremely difficult, like you guys
Absolutely.
might not find difficult at all. And then something
Like
like
Darksiders.
yeah, or something that's like very heavy puzzle based, like I might sit here and go, holy shit, like that one puzzle was extremely hard. Only because I didn't have the mental knowledge of it, where, say, someone like Tioger is like, well, fuck this. Like, this was a cakewalk. Like,
That's another reason why I don't like saying games are hard when I'm writing reviews, because that is subjective. That's completely subjective. You're completely right.
Not to mention, physical ability still plays a part, even in video games. A perfect example is I can't finish one very particular online game because I can't see red well, or at all most times.
right, the Secret World.
And because that wasn't considered, I can never finish the Secret World. Now, I can't get past a room in the very beginning because I literally can't see that color.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why you got to be specific in why it's
Yeah.
difficult.
I still
Exactly.
say you need to pass
Changes
over,
from
like,
person
your
to
account
person.
information for that,
Mm.
and then have us run it.
Do that one day, and I'll just run you through that one. Cause
Yeah, if you're free after this, like any Wednesdays that I'm actually not at work, I'm cool to do.
Yeah, like, let
Kind
us
of my
know.
own
I
day
can't do
off.
it tonight because I have to
Yeah.
get up at 30 in the morning tomorrow. But
Well,
um,
any day before 4 a.m. my time, because that's when I
I
go to
have
sleep.
like no time to do any of the MMO
Yeah.
stuff. Like I
Oh,
have
yeah.
I'm going to be reviewing Assassin's Creed Chronicles of
Yeah.
China.
although I've only got about 2 weeks of school left, and after that I should have the time,
Nice.
unless I get.
I've picked up a strange trait over the last few months.
What'd you
I
get?
only sleep like 3 hours a night, so
Dude, you should
I got
lucky.
plenty of time.
Like I had the yandere eyes at work today.
Yeah.
That was so. I was falling asleep at my desk, but
Mm. I find that these sorts of things help incredibly. You know, giant cans and drinks.
well, what I do is 2 hours in, I go get a coffee and I get a soda, and then I eat when I'm done with work. And every now and then they have like snacks or something.
Someone just said decent at platformers, but pretty bad at puzzlers. I find it actually very interesting. Platformers, something that requires you to jump to platform, or something that requires like that trigger, like you have to jump at the last second. I am horrible at those games and find them extremely difficult.
I love those games.
Because just in general, like platformers for me have just been like a nightmare. And I don't know why, and it's probably because I just haven't played that many of them, that like my skill of it isn't up. And actually when I said that, I pictured like 100% like little bar graphs that say like shooter, RPG, platformer, puzzles, and I'm like, oh, so I have like maybe a 5 out of 10 on this, and maybe a 2 out of 10 on this, and like an 8 out of 10 on this.
RPG maxed out.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like in the old Nintendo Power, each of the staff members had this old thing called critical mass about which genres they liked the most and which they don't. It's sort of like a scale. Most of them liked like adventure and RPG games, and none of them liked shooters or sports games. So they were typical gamers there. So good for them.
You know what? I cannot at all do rhythm games. They're my bane of existence. I can't.
I love it.
They're the most difficult games for me.
the only rhythm game that I can play, and not even at like hard level, but like easy or intermediate, is DDR.
I like
because-
DDR. It's fun.
So many people are like, you need to play Crypt of the Necrodancer. And I'm like, okay. So then I'll
If
like,
I had a dance mat, I would try that game because it looks interesting.
but like you can do it like without the dance mat, but it's that
Oh, that's
beat,
fucking dumb.
like the beat memorization of like subconsciously paying attention to it and then hitting and playing. I can't. Like my music level is just not there to like hit the beat for it. I always like skip the beat, or like I'm 2 seconds like after the next beat and I'm trying
Gotta
to play
listen to
catch up
music
the
like
whole
I do.
game. It's just horrible. Like absolutely horrible for me. Anything that has to deal with like music. Now there was this one game that I have to find again. It was a Flash game that someone made, and the game like rotated in like a circle type thing, and it was a shadow figure, and you did stuff to the music, like you jumped or you kicked or you hit,
I
and
can't remember which one you're talking about.
I'm not familiar with this. Sounds cool.
the difficult part about it was just the way the game was made. When you looked away from the game, your room started to like move.
Oh, that's
And
cool. I
Wow.
wanna play this.
and it was just like cuz you would focus on it and the way it moved in the game that when you like looked up, like your whole perception was just like woo.
Damn.
And I can't think what it is, but it was still like really good that like you would slide. It was like to the beat. Like you would hear the music and as you hit stuff and as you like did stuff correctly, the music would amp up. And if you missed a beat, you would hear the music just stop. Kind of like Guitar Hero, where like you miss a beat and it goes yeah.
Crazy.
It does that, and it was still really good, but again, like it just fucked with you like visually because the way that it rotated, like the game just played. If it wasn't like this and it was just side scroller, I have a feeling it would have been better. But it literally had like a circle to it, and it was
That's
just
just the fact that you kind of bring up rhythm games is that each game, each genre has its own source of difficulty. Like rhythm games, if you look at something like Guitar Hero, it's very stamina driven. You have to be able to hit all those notes really, really fast in really quick sequence. While something like a puzzle game, like even something like an old school adventure game like LucasArts one, you have to figure out the puzzles, but the puzzles can be too difficult if they demand a lot of going back and forth, or they demand
the name of the game is called Soundwalk, by the way.
all right, I'm interested. I will look into that.
I think I'm about to sneeze.
It's
It's one of
just-
those. It's like sitting there. Oh, I'm good. It's good.
difficulty comes in different forms, and
Yeah.
most of the difficult games that I've played are just ones that demand real skill. Like Esbara required me to be not just really quick on my moves, but also when I should conserve my slowdown energy and when I should just go for it. It was very skill based. But in the case of something like Dark Souls, I think it's more that it requires you to do a lot without a lot to fall back on. That's really where I think a lot of the difficulty comes from. Now, there are enemies that just do a ton of damage, and that's more reflex driven, but it's more that it just asks a lot out of you. That's the thing. Trying to think of other games that are kind of like everyone remembers are difficult. Someone in the chat talked about Ninja Gaiden, and that was very difficult. I remember playing that on Xbox, and I was able to beat it. Took quite a few tries though. That one was very, very reflex driven. You had to sort of learn the rhythm of patterns and get a lot of muscle memory. As for RPGs being difficult, those are harder because those are very rarely difficult RPGs. Because if you're ever having trouble, you can just grind to get a better level, and then you're stronger. That's why I think RPGs really can't fit into difficulty in the traditional sense, because you always have a method of going around it. It just requires time and grinding. I really don't know any like traditional RPGs that are difficult. Now, there have been like enemies and bosses that have been difficult, but as far as RPGs being difficult, well,
I guess again that's a perspective thing, because I know people that are like, "Oh,
that's
RPGs
the worst part about difficulty. There is no baseline
yeah.
difficulty that affects
Because sometimes difficulty are a good thing.
Huh?
Some are just pain in the ass.
But yes, sometimes it is a good thing to have a game that's difficult, because sometimes it makes it more fun if the entire idea is for it to be difficult.
Well, Secret World was a good example for me because there were a lot of different parts of it, and some of the difficulty in the game was great. I loved how difficult the puzzles were. I loved how you had to do research and all that stuff. The platforming, which you guys were talking about a minute ago, was a pain in the ass on that game because of how much is handled, what's handled server side and what's handled client side in the game itself. makes platforming very, very difficult. You have to have
Oh,
an
yeah.
extremely good internet connection and a good computer in order to do the platforming in that game well. The good news is I don't think any of the main storyline quests actually require that much platforming. I think at least when I stopped playing regularly, there were only like 3 or 4 really big platforming puzzles, and you didn't need to do them to get into the game. They were just like side missions.
Mm. But the side missions are all fun.
They can be. I'm just glad they didn't gate any of their really fun content, like some of the Halloween specials and stuff behind that.
Most of the games that I know that are very difficult are difficult because of I guess in order for a game to be difficult in my views is demands skill, like physical skill. Like I know that there are other forms of difficulty, but in my recollection, you can describe them in a different way. Like if you have a game that just controls bad and it's difficult because of that, I just say, well, it has bad controls.
Yeah.
If it's something if a puzzle game is hard, it's usually just the puzzles don't make sense, or they require a lot of running around and solutions that aren't really, instinctive, and they don't make sense. So, difficulty is it's an interesting idea. It's hard to express it because it's so subjective. It's difficult for one person is not going to be difficult for the other. I know a lot of people who said that Apotheon was quite challenging, which is basically a softer form of difficulty. It's saying it's hard, but it's fair, and I like doing it anyway. But I'm like, this game's super easy, like really easy. Like you can just swing your sword all over the place and get it all over the place.
I can swing my sword.
And
Solves so many problems.
I was one of and that really bothers why I gave the game such a low score compared to everyone else. What are you giggling at, Kay?
Cardinal.
You didn't hear me?
I didn't hear.
Too busy talking. Oh, no.
No,
Check
you
out
gotta
my
say it.
rules.
No, the time is over. It's not funny anymore.
No, I'll be the judge of that.
Mm-hmm. I have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Pretty much.
And it's really interesting to look at the different perceptions that people have on difficult games. To me, it's very fascinating because it's just there's mechanics there that is individually like person to person, and then there's also what is considered a difficult game. And when you have a majority of people that say, look, this game is difficult, and even from hardcore gamers that they play games and they play games all the time, like even to them to say this is a difficult game. And when you look at people that play what I would consider the precision platformers like Boshi and Guy and Wings of V, and they look and say, this is difficult, that's the part of like where I want to say it's about the perception of everyone.
I want to be the guy is not difficult, because difficult implies that you can overcome it based on skill alone, not memorization.
Memorization is a skill that there are people that aren't.
No,
good.
but that means that's basically saying there is no way in hell you can get this on the first try. I think a game that is difficult, or a game that is at least fair, gives you all of the resources that you need without any prior knowledge of what's going to happen. You don't need to memorize something. I want to be the guy.
Is fairness rather than difficulty.
Yeah. And again, that one's subjective because
Exactly.
there's some games that are entirely based upon the mechanic of trying to learn from your mistakes.
So, okay. So we got, again, on the perception of things. What is a difficult game to you guys? Like,
Well, I've
what
already said
game when
what I
you
thought about that. So,
what game comes out? Like when
what do you
you
mean specifically? Like a
Yeah.
specific game?
like each person, what is your difficulty? What is your difficulty level? I mean,
Difficulty for
cuz
me
I play
is
character
like all
action
rhythm
games. I play a lot of difficult games.
It's like Dark
I grew
Souls
up
for me.
Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden was that really fucked me up as a kid, but it demands very, very careful dodges at the same time.
Mm.
A lot of character action games. Devil May Cry 3 is a good example of that. You just have to be very careful. You have to, when you see them do something, you need to just move real fast. But I like that. I like those character action games a ton. And they not only are challenging, but you start to see yourself getting better the more you play them. And the more I get better at them, the more I want to keep playing them and even move up into other difficulty levels. So it's
Pardon?
more like I know I kind of a boring answer with like just traditional action games like that.
That's the thing is like that's again just the thing. It's interesting to see what yours is. Like mine is all rhythm games. I have no rhythm. It's like there. It's uncoordinated blah. But for what some people find difficult, anything like that's Twitch based, so like first person shooting like that, super easy for me because that's what I do. But rhythm games, oh dear God, it's like melting my brain. I can't get it together.
It's good that Mega Beaver all talked about Wipeout because F-Zero GX, that is a difficult game because it's so fast. I mean, it's mind-bogglingly fast. I wish they'd release that on the Wii.
I don't mind fast or anything that just requires like reflex heal or anything like that. That's I've got that. It's
really where I think is difficult.
Yep.
What about you,
I
Jared?
think from playing music, I'd be able to do rhythm, but no.
You just got to listen to a lot of music. That's how I got good at.
I can't.
Nara, yes.
In the bucket. I can probably play the drums okay, but that's mostly because I'm defaulting off my beat things with a stick skill.
So have you come across a difficult game then?
I mean, I've come across some with mechanics I just didn't like that I just couldn't get the hang of. Like you said earlier, the first Assassin's Creed game, that thing was a pain in the ass because of the engine. But then you get into some of the later games, the engine worked a little better, and then the difficulty was entirely just based off of your skill with the controller and understanding what you had to do. I mean, honestly, and I know I've said this before, I play games to relax and have fun. I work 70 to 80, sometimes as many as 90 hours a week between two jobs and school. I do not have a lot of free time. And when I sit down on my computer to play a game, I don't want to be, ripping my hair out, stressed out over it. Secret World, like I was talking about a minute ago, the difficulty in it from figuring out the puzzles and everything, I'm okay with that because that's enjoyable to me. But even then, I mean, I don't log in anymore. It's not because I can't. It's just, it's not like I need to subscribe to it anymore or anything. It's just I don't have time for that sort of leisure. So when I log in, I want something that's just going to let me, play around, like building stuff in Cities or 7 Days to Dive. Contraption Maker is another one I still play a lot of, even though it's silly. Well, that one can be hard. Depends on how creative people get with their puzzles. But I mean, gaming to me is a form of recreation. It's not my livelihood. It's not my life. It's something I do to relax. And if I come across a game that's really, really difficult, I'll play it when I have time, which isn't right now. So I haven't really played too many difficult games in a long time because I really haven't had that much free time in a long time. I mean, because in MMOs and stuff, you encounter a lot of raid mechanics where it is difficult. You have to have good reflexes. You have to know what to do. You have to, and that was fun for me when I had the time to dedicate to that.
Not to mention a good internet connection.
Yeah, that.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that has to kill sometimes. Like I said earlier, that one platforming puzzle in Secret World, I still have yet to solve the blasted thing. It's not because I haven't figured out how to do it. I know exactly what I need to do. I just never had the internet connection speed and computer to do it. I probably do now, but I don't really care right now. um, Man, like I said, I don't have that much leisure time, and I want to feel accomplished at the end of it. So I don't want something that's just going to give me everything, but I don't want something that's going to make me pull my hair out either.
Fair enough.
And most of the time, my leisure involves making things.
Yeah. Like that one thing.
Yeah, like that one thing.
No. Yes. Let's try to make him pull that out.
Well,
That could be taken completely the wrong way. But
I think
anyway.
you might get in trouble with Twitch if I call. Oh, you.
Yeah, it's interesting for me because I stay away. Like, I horribly just stay away from anything that has been classified as a difficult or skill-heavy game. It's really interesting because a lot of people will go, "Oh, I want to see you play Dark Souls," or "I want to see you kind of play Bashi," or "I want to see this," and it's interesting to me for people to say that because what you're gonna see is someone failing, which is part of the. I mean, that is part of the entertainment. 100%. That is part of the entertainment. Is watching someone start raging at a game. However, the entertainment perspective of it and the I want to enjoy the game, it's very difficult for me to get close to connecting the two of them. Darksiders is probably the closest one that I've gotten where I've raged. I've gotten to the point where I was sitting there fighting the same boss for like 50 times. And I literally had to stop and step away. And I had to take so many breaks in the middle of it because my anxiety level was just like through the roof. And at the end of the day, I just felt exhausted. And it wasn't a good exhausted, but like the one day after I
Drained.
yeah, it's really just drained. There is a sense of accomplishment though. There really is. There was a day that I was like, I'm gonna fight this spider boss. And then I was stuck at that boss. And then I never played it for like a month because I didn't want to have to fight that spider boss again. And then I went back and I one-shot her. And it was my first run of the night. And I literally was just like, bam, one shot. And I felt so accomplished that I was like, you know what? I can continue this game. I can continue on and I want to beat this game at this point because of that like self-gratification that it gave me for defeating that boss, which I can completely understand for people who play Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 because they have like, I've defeated this many bosses. Like it becomes a personal achievement to them of how can I defeat them? How can I defeat them in ways that most other people haven't? And it's just like patterns. If a boss has a pattern, like you know what it is, and you just get into the rhythm of being able to, okay, this person's doing a smash, I move this way, I dodge this way, I can take this much damage before this happens, or I have to specifically attack a weak spot on this boss. And those types of games I really don't mind. But when it gets to the level of like where I'm doing a raid boss by myself in a game, it just gets overwhelming. And essentially what I mean by that is like I raided World of Warcraft and almost every MMO I've raided in. And I like being able to have a group that I play with, and that it's teamwork mechanics and stuff like that. But if I'm going to play like Dark Souls, it's me versus the boss. It's single player versus one boss that has raid level mechanics. And it just, at that point, I'm just like, do I really want to put myself through that stress? Do I really want to play something like that I know I'm going to walk away from it and just feel miserable?
There's no point going through something like that at
Right.
all. It's kind of, that's big reason I don't do raids on MMOs, because I don't have the connection to be able to keep up and do them properly. It's a complete pain in the ass. It's just like, no, guaranteed to be the first one that dies every time. Guaranteed.
Yeah, like Channel said, he's like, it took me forever to get half good at Binding of Isaac.
Games are more fun when you're good at them.
Yeah.
Like, that's my situation with Bloodborne. That's why I can't play it in large amounts of time, because there was a period of time where I kept dying over and over and over again. And every time you die, you have to sit through this incredibly long load screen. That is the worst part of dying.
Loading screens.
And I know they're like, oh, you know, it'll encourage you to get better. No, it's fucking annoying. You want to get back into the game right away. That's why Super Meat Boy works. That's why Spyro works. Because you're like, oh, you fucked up. You don't get punished with a 1.5 minute long load time. But so I was like, God, I can't believe I'm doing so badly on this. I'm not even past to the first new lantern. And then you actually get far. And you're
I think that has such a long loading time because it loads so much.
Because
It's
it's
like that
yeah,
entire
because
map's
that's
full.
stupid. It shouldn't do that because that's annoying. And then, because that's the thing, when I'm good at Bloodborne, I love it. When I'm bad at it, I never want to play it again, which makes me hesitant to continue because I'm afraid I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to start sucking and then I'm not going to have any fun anymore. It happens a lot when I play really difficult games. Like, I always try to end a really difficult run on a good note. Like, I never want to rage quit. Like, if I'm at a part that I just can't beat, I don't want to stop until I beat that one part. And then I'm like, I beat it. Now when I go on to it again, I'll be doing fine. I never like leaving a game on a bad note because then it bothers me because I'm like, I can't beat it.
So, based on exactly that, though, is it kind of a fear of getting stuck?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it is a fear. I don't want to get to a part where I'm not good at it. And that's kind of what's making me hesitant to play Bloodborne more, even though I'm still in a position where I'm doing well. I'm afraid that I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to get stuck. I think that's a really good description of my hesitance to do that. And this isn't just that game. Super Meat Boy, I had a lot of that situation too. There's a lot I haven't done in that game. I beat the main story, but I kind of don't want to go back into it because I'm afraid I'm going to get stuck and I'm going to have this sort of mental taxation like, I can't do this. I have to be able to do it. So stuff like that.
Because, like,
yeah, that's right.
thinking back on a couple of games that I found to be difficult, it wasn't so much that it weighed on me because it was difficult. It weighed on me because I'm like, I want to play the rest of this game, but I can't progress the rest of the game because I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I had that sense, that feeling with Darksiders a couple of times, because whether it be the fact that I was tired, or I was distracted, or I had something else going on mentally, like I wasn't thinking about the game, I was kind of like multitasking the game, and it's like it has, like, the planets have to align essentially for me to get past something. And those types of games, to me, I think are very just what I would consider difficult, because I don't want to have to stop in the middle of a game. And that's probably why I like MMOs so much, because if you get stuck, you go, hey, I'm stuck. Can you come help me? And with single player games, unless you find someone who will beat the game for you, like the first time I played Darksiders, I had Raytog come help me play Darksiders the first time. Because I was like,
Remember that?
I'm stuck. And then I saw him do it. And because I saw him do it, I then repeated it. And that's actually one reason why, like YouTube, I love watching other people play games before I play them. Because then it gives me that effort to want to play them more. Not, oh, I already saw the content. No, I go, oh, that's how they did it. So I will try other means before I copy someone's, like, strategy. But if the game gets hard, I'm like, I watched that person do this. I know it's possible. I'm going to copy their strategy. And that's one reason, like, rating for MMOs, you do your homework. You look at other people that have beaten that boss and you go, what can we do with our comp? Like our group of people. And so you try to do the strategy on your own first, but then when it gets too difficult, then you're just like, oh hey, we're gonna pull in people that fit this person's comp because that's what they succeeded with. And it's just it's very, very, very interesting to look at those types of games and where each person has gotten like that block that just I can't continue on. And whether it be a glitch in the game, I've seen people rage because they were doing well and the game just crashed. And
I hate that.
yeah, it's just to me that's really interesting. And I'm as I started streaming and looking at games to play while I was streaming, like actually just last week I played Devil May Cry DMC, the new one. And I got through the first boss and was like, man, this was awesome. Like, I like the hack and slash genre because I can like fly through it. Like that's when you were saying character action, like I can essentially fly through it and be like awesome, and then get into these boss fights and be like, oh, okay, so I just have to learn the pattern. It kind of takes you back to the days of Legend of Zelda, where it's like, what's the boss weakness? And I feel that newer games imitate that to an extreme. With boss fights, because people are so used to playing and having boss fights, and then they have to ramp it up. What can I do to ramp it up? What can I make this more challenging? Like, how can I progress with player level? And I still feel like on a wide scale of gaming, I'm still on a very low skill level. And it sucks because then people are gonna be like, hey, I want you to play this extremely difficult game. It'd be awesome for you to watch. Like, but to me, I don't feel like I'm at that level yet.
Well, I mean, that's fair enough because you've put so much time into RPGs and you know, the online stuff. So that's obviously where your highest skill set is. And the more you do other stuff, I mean, you'll start picking it up. And again, like I have the same problem. It's just mine is shooters, and then everything else is down there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I enjoy shooters. I will not necessarily rage, but I'll playfully get upset about it.
I'm the guy
I
you never want to hand a
rage.
sniper
I
rifle.
rage. You should see me when I'm playing. When I was playing I Am Bread,
Were you raging against the machine?
Oh.
Sorry.
I was saying, fuck the bread. Fuck these huge levels.
Oh, that's a good point.
Fuck those
Roguelikes.
toasters.
Oh, I hate roguelikes. Now, Barony was fun because I was playing with a group of people.
Are we talking about roguelikes or roguelites? Because I don't know the difference between either. People use them interchangeably.
I don't know what roguelites are.
Because that's what he said.
Yeah, I
Roguelikes.
imagine it's likes, but I mean, it could be
It
likes.
is roguelikes, and then there's something called roguelites, like light, like a light on the difficulty, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Oh. But we'll touch on roguelike for a second, and the whole you progress and you get so far and then something happens and you fuck up and you have to start at 0.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Mm.
I mean,
That is frustrating.
yeah, that's an interesting thing because that kind of came back with the Dark Souls, Demon Souls shit. But
Do you really lose everything though when
you lose
Not
all
everything,
of your
just
souls, which is
The
your
currency sort of thing.
to upgrade, and you
Still
have to
keep
go
what you
back
get.
to where you died to get them. But if you die before you get them back, they're gone forever. So you have one chance to get them back. Now Bloodborne operates a little bit differently because sometimes your blood, whatever is, if there's an enemy patrol path nearby, you have to kill that enemy before you get your souls back. And if it's a really difficult, strong enemy, you're fucked. So you just gotta be good. So
That's the thing that always confused me though. Like people in those sorts of games will always carry around fuck tons of their currency and stuff to upgrade with. Just use it, and then if you die, it's not such a big
you
problem.
need
Then
to
is
save
there?
it for the good, real upgrades. Now, of course,
Yeah, screw that.
some people
I take
say
all
that
the
like
little things.
roguelikes are also like procedurally generated environments.
Mm.
There is such an argument over what a roguelike is, like what features it has to have and what makes it difficult. I don't even care anymore. It's like Binding of Isaac is apparently a roguelike, although I do like that game. I do like Binding of Isaac.
Well, I think the definition sort of roguelike is it's generated and it has like an easy death permadeath. Yeah. I mean, because in a previous episode we talked about roguelikes.
Yeah. And I had one of my friends apparently got the absolute strongest possible thing you could possibly get in Binding of Isaac. Like completed every single, the real final boss. I'm like, dude, why did you spend so much time playing this game? He's like, oh.
Because they like to.
That's okay. At least the game's good.
I still have
Rex.
yet to play Binding of Isaac.
I've seen a lot of plays of it. It's interesting.
You can play either the vanilla version or the Rebirth remake. The remake is. I kind of miss the old sort of Flash animation style, but it has more stuff in it, more items, more.
I've only seen the Rebirth version. So
yeah, Rebirth is. I've only played the original version. I have the Rebirth on PS4, but I really haven't sunk too much time into it. I haven't even beaten it once because it's so hard. I mean, like I'm just not good at it yet.
I don't know. I think the problem I have with Binding of Isaac is it's too random for me.
That's actually a very common criticism I've heard about it. Some people say it's way too luck based.
Because one of the biggest situations of this was I was watching Slackaholic at Speed or Summer Games Done Quick, or it was SGDQ.
SGDC? Or
I know what you're talking about.
GDQ, whichever one.
Yeah. But he had like the most horrible possible luck. And it wasn't at that point anywhere near skill based. It was just he could not get the right drops for Binding of Isaac. And the other person that he was playing against had massive amounts of luck and was able to complete it in the time allotted. And I was just like, this does not seem fair. Like, it really just does not seem fair. And it seems like one of those things that would be like the RNG of it would be fun if you're just playing it for fun. But when you get into if you're getting into like a competition for it, there's just way too many things that I think would be out of your hands. And when people say like roguelikes in general, and you get that random encounter, yeah, you get that gratification. It's like, oh, I just hit this one random that has a 0.1 chance of dropping. And then you highlight it, and then it's like, oh shit, look at this. But the next time you ever get it, it could be like 5 years down the road. Or it could be the next day. It's kind of like farming for anything in like MMOs and like mounts and drops and stuff like that. I mean, it's all RNG based. And yes, people who've made RNG based games are geniuses because it'll keep people playing the games.
Oh yeah.
It'll keep them wanting to get that item. So the hours played in said game is just through the roof. But when you get into a situation where it's like, again, competitive play, or people that don't have a lot of time to spend on games, like, it just gets frustrating. So,
And this is why we pray to the RN Jesus.
RNGesus. Yep.
Pretty clever.
But
There's someone who was complaining in the 7 Days to Die forum today because they've been playing in the game time 45 days and hadn't found the Forge book yet. It has exactly the same chance to drop as every other book. They just haven't found it yet. They've got 3 stacks of every other book except that one.
Oh man, when I found out you had to find that book, I was like, I'm gonna go to the freaking little town. First bookcase thing I search, it's right there. I'm like, oh, cool, yay.
It's not that big of a gateway. Just
The
You
stuff
started
is
playing
balanced
it
to metal.
5 hit.
I started playing it again about 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe. That was when I played it last. I got murdered in the night because I placed a torch and I just didn't realize there was going to be zombies. Loud music blaring, torch up, looking in the opposite direction. Something hits me, I turn around, army of zombies. I'm like, oh shit! Jump out of my tower into the ocean. Swim away. Never to be seen again.
I've yet to, I think, really even play 7 Days to Die.
It's a fun game.
It's a game I think I would have more fun playing with other people.
Yes, definitely.
Compared,
That's kind of what stops me from going back to it at the moment. Is just no one to play with.
I mean, because Tjolger has what, close to 500 hours, I'm sure,
Oh,
at
yeah.
this point.
Hold on, let me look. I'll tell you. I don't think I actually have Steam on right now. I restarted my computer a little bit ago.
But like, he plays single player, and I'm like, why? I'm like, even it
Because
to
I
me-
like building shit.
Yeah, but to me, like, it has that Minecraft thing where it's like, okay, it's fun to play solo for so long, and then you just really want to play with people.
Yeah.
And speaking
Also-
of, I still have yet to try your server, which sucks, because I still have been meaning to do so, to see if I could even connect to it and see how bad my lag would be, because, you
it's
know.
not modded, so it shouldn't be too bad.
It's just vanilla, right?
all you're gonna encounter is the Australia problem,
Where it's just lag.
Yeah, because like at the moment, like it's on my computer currently, but it's set to have maximum bandwidth. So if I do anything, it still applies everything needed to the Minecraft server, and will stop everything else.
Hello, Oncart. Hello, making my
Hey,
bot go
Wilson.
crazy again. Hello.
In the face, ouch, that must hurt.
I freaked out the first time that happened, actually, because I'm like, am I
What?
being hacked? What is going on with my
Feeling
bot
like
right now? Hello, Oncart. We are doing amazingly well. We're currently talking about difficult games and our perception of what difficult is. We got on the topic of RNG and Binding of Isaac. So yeah, if you want to contribute, what is a difficult game to you? What would you consider being difficult? Is mainly the topic that we've been going around with right now.
While we wait for
Game,
the
you
lag
Pikachu,
thing,
because Pikachu's a punk ass bitch.
Huh?
I'm thinking.
Hey,
What was that?
Pikachu's super difficult. 'Cause Pikachu's a punk ass bitch who doesn't do what you tell him to do.
Oh, Pokemon.
You gotta
You know what you
smack
do.
that. You gotta smack that fucker's face off. Smack my bitch up. Pikachu.
Wow.
Yeah, that just got deep
Do not-
really
do not
quick,
give him
and it was
pets.
just like,
Oof.
what?
No, I
See,
love my pets.
see, Bashi and Soul series.
I love my pets. I just would beat the shit out of Pikachu.
I remember when you were playing Sonic and you had the Chows.
Oh, that was awesome. That
Dear
was
Chows.
Yeah, because the
Those
thing is,
poor-
depending on which
poor
alignment
things.
you are, if you're mean as a dark character, it turns hero. And, like they're crying and they're screaming and running away from you, and I'm like, oh yes, trauma.
That's sadistic,
Rip
mate.
it
That
off.
is.
Yeah. Welcome to Alex and gameplay.
Yeah, that was
I
awesome.
know.
He's just running around.
His
they're
self gratification is
And then they
just
trip
hurting
and
things.
fall.
Beating up on things littler than you. How could
Yeah.
you, mate?
like- and then like I give them the food and they're about to eat it, and I just take it away. Stupid Chow. No one likes them. I'll beat their ass. Like I'll shake you and throw you in the water and let you drown.
I feel like finding his chows to give them big hugs now. 'cause
I
it's
know. I'm just like, I feel so bad for these Chows.
Mm.
Oh
Or
my
these
god.
non-existent creatures.
Yeah.
So, I know,
I
right?
feel so bad. Oh.
Yeah, I throw them around. And then I pick them up and they're like struggling to get on my like, let me go. I don't want to be hurt anymore. And I'm like,
And this is why he doesn't own pets.
I do own pets. I own 2 and I'm very nice to them. 2 cats. 2 cats. And I pet them. They're nice. They're good keys.
But no,
In
like
fact, when I get my since those 2 cats are going to be living with my parents, I'm probably going to get a new cat at some point, depending on where my new apartment's going to be. If they like cat, a little tiny kitten. I don't know what to call it. I'll get a girl cat and I'll call it Mr. Blade Runner.
Okay.
yeah.
That's cruel and unusual punishment in
Well-
itself.
That's not cruel and unusual punishment. That's being ironic because you get it. It's a girl cat, but you start with Mr. Little tiny kitten.
I
Little
just
tiny-
shake my head at you, Alex. That's all.
No,
That's
Irony
all.
would be calling it
Oh,
senpai, and then every
tiny
time you get
kitten.
home,
Yeah, I
like,
said-
How
Senpai
heartless
noticed
are
me.
you? You're a heartless monster. Oh my god.
I shake my head.
That's a
at you,
heartless monster
Alex.
because she doesn't like tiny kittens.
I love tiny kittens.
No, but you just said you
Don't
don't
you
like
have
them. You
2
said you don't
tiny
want
kittens?
Huh?
Don't you have 2 tiny kittens?
I have 2 tiny kittens, actually. But no, again, back onto RNGesus. I think games like that are, to me, are just mentally frustrating. I wouldn't call them difficult because it's just based on time. Like how much time you can put into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for certain people like Tjolger, who really only has like 2 hours a day that he has, so
You're funny. 2 hours.
That's a lot.
but like that to him could be like a difficult game. And I don't know. I think at some point down the line I will definitely try to get into those difficult games because I would like to just see what my skill level, whether walking into them, because I have not touched them. I stay away from them, so I don't know. Like, I personally just don't know what my skill level in them would be. So at some point, I'm sure I'll have to at least try to play. I will probably start with Wings of V or play Dark Souls and just see. I have the Prepare to Die
Question.
edition already, by the
Of
way.
difficulties. Does anyone here have trouble with like flight simulators and stuff? Because I love those games. They're fun.
I haven't played many flight simulators.
I don't know.
Games that, like those like games that flight games that have really realistic physics.
Yeah, anything like that.
I'm sure like driving games like Gran Turismo with very realistic physics require me to do that too.
Yeah, driving games I suck at. Flying games, I'm fine.
I like more arcadey kind of games like that, you know, with very loose controls and not like you have to judge this by the weather, by the terrain, by how fast you're moving, by how many cars are around you, by like the intelligence quotient of the people in the crowd. And I'm like, no, don't give me all this
Yeah, no.
work to do. I just want to drive fast and aggressively.
Actually, thinking about it, driving games in general, to me, are extremely difficult. That might be because I don't drive in real life. But driving games to me are very difficult.
Play Mario Kart. It'll teach you to drive.
I
If
don't,
only that was true, I'd have my license.
Just throw a banana peel at people and they spin out and then they blow up.
but like, what was it? A couple last week? Last week or the week before, a few of us went up to Dave and Buster's, and we were playing like driving games up there, and I was just like, what? Like,
Play
insert
Crazy
joke about
Taxi.
one woman having
I
trouble with
play
driving.
Crazy Taxi in arcades, and it's amazing.
Now, I really enjoyed Twisted Metal when I played Twisted
Oh
Metal.
God.
Dude, Twisted Metal was fun. But like I see people playing like GTA and like racing games in general, and I'm just like, I'm that person who doesn't know when to brake going around a corner and like smacks right into the wall and then is just like, oh shit, now I'm in last place. And I do the same with Mario Kart, honestly.
Cool.
Well, there are some games. There are some games that I know of, like driving simulators and stuff like that, that really do help you learn how to drive.
Interesting.
That is true. Yeah.
I
Because
suppose when you have the full-on like pedals and steering wheel.
Yeah.
and
if
shifter
you
and
go
stuff.
to like if you go to arcades and they have like the automatic shift stuff, like the
Yeah.
games kind of teach you how to drive a stick without breaking a car. Because it's the same like RPMs, like you have to shift and then
Right.
stuff like that, and it teaches you like what to look for on like the meters, and I could see that being definitely helpful, but to me that's still like extremely difficult, that I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Whenever I
can't-
play those, I always put on automatic so I don't have to pay attention to the shifter.
right, even automatic for me is just
Yeah.
extremely difficult. I end up again running into walls, so but yeah, it's very
Cool.
very interesting. RPGs. There are some RPGs that I found to be difficult though, even though that's like my main highlighted game.
Mm.
Games that
For what
require
reason difficult?
Hmm?
For what reason were they difficult?
the fear of being stuck, because it like some games they require you to grind, like really just sit there and grind out like levels, and then
Right.
you get to a boss and it just like destroys you, and then it's like, well shit, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And then you go back to grinding for like 10 hours to get the next 5 levels, and then you go back to the boss and it's like, oh okay.
This is why I wish RPGs didn't not like you having bots, because I would do bots for the grinding and then go play the game.
Yeah,
I would do that all day. I'd be like, all right, come back, play
like
this
I
game.
really want to play Hyper Dimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 again. Yes, a giant mouthful. I want to play that game again because the game and the storyline was absolutely hilarious and just great.
I saw parts of that on your channel. It was goddamn hilarious.
But you have to grind out these levels like no one's business. I'm just like, I don't want to sit here and have to stream this, and I don't want to play it in my off time, because I
Right.
could play or do other things in my off time other than just sitting there grinding a game. And if it was a
She goes off
hand,
to play another game where you grind.
yeah, I like Final Fantasy 14.
Yep.
But you know, at least with that, she's got other people to play with as well.
Exactly.
And with MMOs, at least when she's doing the grinding, other people need to as well, so you can just do it together. Talk to someone the whole time or something.
Yeah. Well, I tried doing the hyper dementia with like a Skype call,
Yeah.
so that like I had the conversation going as I was grinding, but it was still like mindless. I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, conversation, okay. Like I wish I could play those types of games like
And be like,
handheld.
grinding. Yeah.
like where it's like, oh, I have 10 minutes, I'm gonna play this, and then put
Well,
it down, and
I mean,
then
you could, if you had great hardware for your computer, you could do streaming. You'd have to have a lot of data with your phone.
yeah.
But I hear you guys, like in America, can get unlimited data for your phones. So I mean, do that.
I have unlimited data right now, but if I upgrade or anything happens to this phone, I'm fucked.
Yeah,
Why
you
only
take,
that
you take
far?
unlimited data down with you kicking and screaming. That is
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm doing right now because I stream so much music. I'm like, no. And
Yeah.
Verizon's telling me, no, you got to do a tiered plan on the next one. I'm like, well, bye Verizon. I'm going to T-Mobile. Q.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I can't because
Mm.
Verizon is like the strongest like phone provider in this area. So
You
if
could
I
be with like the same phone for as long as you possibly can manage.
yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
Pornhub
I
uses
still need to
too
get
much
mine
bandwidth.
fixed. Mine is like bent. If you can see that, it's full like bent on the side.
Oh no, I do see that.
Yeah, it's not an iPhone, so it's not that whole bent gate thing.
Well, my vibrate button doesn't like if I drop it or like put it down difficult, like it will continue to like start buzzing and doing like
Oh, I have insurance. I can get it sent away to be fixed. I'm just lazy.
like
as
it does that. Like what you see me doing right now, it does that for like ever. So and it's speaking of, it just did it. I'm like, put you down very slowly now. But I don't want to like I want an upgrade because I don't want my iPhone anymore, but it's just like I'm
So, is it why are they like saying that if you get a new phone you won't have it? Can't you just chuck your SIM in another phone now instead of upgrading your phone with them? Just
well,
go buy
one iPhone don't allow you to switch SIMs.
Bastards.
Yeah. On top of that, Verizon doesn't offer unlimited data at all anymore.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Why they
Bastards.
suck.
Like at
Just because they can get away with not doing it.
I know.
Because the whole data thing is just numbers on a screen to them. They just said it. Like it doesn't make much difference.
They're trying to nickel and dime you.
Like I get unlimited house internet, but for that I sacrifice speed in Australia for that.
oh,
like
yeah.
I now have a 6 megabyte, download speed. That's it. Like yeah. That's
Hey,
what I've
it's
had
not
for
as
the
bad
past,
as where Josh is right now though.
No, it isn't. He doesn't even get cell reception there.
No.
Yes.
And
Where's he
he's-
at anyways?
Huh?
Where's he at? I didn't find out where he was going before I, disappeared myself.
Oh, he's currently in like backwoods West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Currently.
Hunting that cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
But-
I just pictured like Shia LaBeouf like moving around like a monkey, just jumping from tree branch,
But no, he's currently
screeching like a banshee.
like nowhere near like cell reception or like his internet is literally dial up essentially. So,
Mhm.
Go for Shia LaBeouf.
Fun times.
but
Although, I mean, in like a year or so, I should have like NBN in this area, which means fiber connection, which is like way better. But it's just taken a long time for that rollout to happen.
right.
Like it's been released. My suburbs planned, yay. But
I've discovered the most difficult game in all of the universe.
yeah.
Watching porn on dial-up.
Why dial up? Like
Dial-up is still a thing. You can still get it in most
It's
places.
true. It's true. You can
Mostly
still-
for old people.
the worst game in the world though, dial-up internet.
Oh, man.
Sure.
Oh god, the memories.
Yeah, like when suddenly that like bleep in your internet shuts down whatever game you're playing. Oh, by the way, so I found a new game that was on Steam that takes me back to like first person shooter days of like Quake and playing
Yeah?
Unreal Tournament. Oh my god. I have to look it up really quick cuz I bought 4 copies of it.
Oh, by the way, on 7 Days to Die, I have 440 hours in.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, hi Steam that loaded on my screen as full screen and ruined my layout. Thanks. Thanks for being a jack.
You lay.
Oh, what is it called? What is it called? It is called Wickland.
I've
Wickland.
heard of that.
But yeah, it's all multiplayer, so you can't really play single player. There's no purpose of the single player. So it's like arena based and you play with friends. So I got 4 copies of
Okay.
it. At some point I will play that cuz it looks so good. It really does. It just looks so good. I'm trying to think what other game I bought. Because there was another one that was on sale. I want to play Killing Floor so bad, but I don't want to,
Killing
like...
Floor 2 looks awesome.
Everyone is talking about that game, and I'm just like,
Well, I really liked the first one, and the second one's just like insanely better graphics. So I mean, what's not to like?
What was the game I just bought? This is, like, really irritating me now. For $30, it's a steal. That's still, like... $20
I'm sure you
more
can
than
find
I
it
want to
cheaper
pay.
somewhere.
That's still $20 more than I really want to
Yeah.
pay for it. I can't even think what was. Assassin's Creed Chronicles is only $10.
Nice.
Cool.
The China one, because I think you're gonna have to pay like individually for each chronicle.
Random.
Because Ubisoft hasn't taken enough of my money.
You right? The only thing that sucks is like playing Assassin's Creed games on the PC because you have to go through Uplay, and Uplay fucking sucks.
Donkey balls.
But why is it not working? God darn it.
Oh,
But yeah, you playing the pile of steaming crap.
by the way, for those of you who are still
Oh,
not-
A Walk in the Dark. A Walk in the Dark is considered a difficult game in the same spec of like Boshi in them because it's all pattern based and you have to go through a maze, like 2D
Right.
maze of things. But you play as a really cute black cat. So that might also be one of the first difficult games that I play. Sorry, I interrupted you, T-Ogre.
I
What
was
were you
saying, if you're still logged into Skype, that's a picture of what the contacts look like. It's better. It's one of those things that actually looks better in real life than it does on camera. But if you're still logged into Skype, I have to picture. I put it in the /chat podcast.
Well, you could have like linked it in Zoom. That would have been awesome.
Ow.
Oh, you actually sent the picture of it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not anywhere on the internet, nor will it be until I get closer to being done, because I want to get this whole build done without really telling anyone what I'm doing with it. That way I can show up to a con and just blow everyone's mind.
And
Especially
nobody
when
can
we do that skit.
Nice.
Wait.
Oh, not restrictions. What on earth is that?
I don't know.
That was me.
What did you do?
There's a spring on the side of my boom which connects to my microphone, and when you do this,
It sounds like you kicked a guitar.
Yeah, you really did.
but yeah,
That's funny.
it just reverberates up there. It's like the one thing I can make noise with on it.
That's funny. But yeah, so Wickland and A Walk in the Dark was two of the games that I bought, and I actually only paid like $5. I got 4 copies of Wickland for like $3. So I was actually trying to buy more of them, but for some reason, if it's a 4-pack, you can't buy multiples.
Bummer.
I don't know. Like, it won't let you buy them because it says it's already in your library. And I
Maybe you
tried
have
to,
to
like,
give
buy
them
them
away
as
first?
gifts. And it won't let you click buy, like, buy as
It could
gifts.
be like a limited per customer sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people that sell Steam codes and things like that. So they'd be like, I'll buy a bunch of these and sell them off one by one.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because I wanted to buy enough of them that I could start, like, passing them out to people I wanted to play with on, like, stream.
Yeah.
But, and then you could buy them individually for 99 cents. So, like, I might pay,
More
like,
effort.
the $2 to get 2 codes instead of 4, which seems weird, though.
Mm.
So, I might see if there's someone else that is like, hey, would you be willing to buy this and send me the 3-pack, essentially. But, no. We have exactly 11 minutes left of the show.
Countdown begin.
The countdown. The ultimate.
Well, I thought it was a pretty interesting topic today with the difficulty, because it's interesting to see who finds different things difficult and easy. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, it really is.
I think the skill sets between the four of us is incredibly different. Mhm.
Yeah. Like, Jeremy likes puzzle games, and Carthnell likes first person shooters, and Alex likes
Waifu games.
waifu games!
Hey, I have not played any waifu games except Persona 4 and Senran Kagura, if you count that, although I was distracted by something else. I played Persona 3.
So what happened to the I've not played them? You started to list them off.
So way more than any of us.
Shut up. Hey, I was working hard to complete that social link. Now it's done.
Alex,
So
I have
just
the
need to-
perfect anime that you have to watch.
Involved tentacles.
The World God Only Knows.
This sounds familiar.
World God Only Knows is about a kid who plays nothing but like dating sims and then is required to implement it into real life scenarios.
It sounds
It's
fucking
amazing.
That sounds fucking hilarious.
It's amazing.
I
So-
heard about this other series that a guy I know on Twitter was telling me about. Let me see if I can find it. Because they like, I actually, yeah, this is it. I saw this in a bookstore, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's where is it? God damn it! He didn't. Oh, here it is. Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon?
That is such a good series.
the
It's so
fuck is-
good.
I heard
It's
about.
so
I saw
hilarious.
a copy of it at a bookstore, and I'm like, "What is this? This is weird." I bet Kat wants me to watch it.
It's so good. It's so cute too.
What is
Oh
wrong
my
with this
God.
girl's clothes? She just has a ribbon around her, and that's it. She looks super tsundere because she has the little look. Why do her clothes look torn up?
I don't know
Probably
what.
because she was in a dungeon.
I'm actually not sure what you're talking about because the first 3 episodes don't really show anyone who describes that.
It's just this girl wearing like blue and white.
Does she-
Otaku
is her
bait.
hair in
Okay,
pigtails?
it's someone made a thing that says otaku bait flavor of the month, and I'm like, yeah.
It's a really good series. It's super cute.
And they're using this ribbon in very suggestive ways.
It's perfect for you then.
No.
You
No.
know that's what he's gonna watch after this now.
Shut
Y-
up.
I watched the first 3 episodes back to back to back to back, and I can't wait for the new one to come out.
I need to watch the second season of I Can't Understand What My Husband's Saying. I need to finish Kill La Kill. I need to finish Arakawa Under the Bridge. I need to finish Toradora. I need to...
Yamada and the Seven Witches is also really good.
You want me to watch this stupid Testament of Sister New Devil thing, which is very uncomfortable to watch because they try to take themselves seriously while grinding on dicks. And there's just like all these shows. So many shows.
Well, then start watching them.
I didn't
Quit
even see the
complaining.
last episode of Log Horizon. I haven't even
Oh my
caught
God.
up. I've had no time to do this. And then there was this other show that I can't even remember what it was that I was interested in. No, not that. No,
Well,
not-
we have exactly 7 minutes, so we might as well just start doing our outros, and then you can go watch anime.
no, and then I'm going to
Mhm.
sleep because I'm
Yeah,
literally
I'm
keeping
sleep.
myself awake barely.
So
I'm going to the post office after this, so you know, yay.
I might try and get on Minecraft server, depending.
Awesome, yeah. If you need me to resend the IP address, I will.
I think I still have it on Skype. I'll check them.
Cool, it should be there. Yeah.
So outros, Alex.
You can find me at the Post Mesmeric all over the interwebs at youtube.com/postmesmeric. Just put up a new video about Kojima and Metal Gear. I'd really appreciate it if you watch that on my channel. And please go to this other YouTube channel where me and my friend Matt do
Oh,
other
Speaking
things.
of YouTubes,
Please
I
subscribe to
have
that other channel, please,
3
because
episodes of a new series up on mine.
we're going to be starting 2 new Let's Plays soon.
Ooh.
And
Of
we have
what?
the entire Sonic Boom Let's Play already up on the channel.
What are the new ones you're starting? Because the last one was kind of cool.
No, we're keeping those secret. You're gonna find out next week.
You know, I like no one
We
else.
still have a lot of back episodes of Scott Pilgrim and Banjo Tooie but we do know what the next 2 Let's Plays are going to be.
Awesome.
We decided.
Cardinal.
Oh, right. I'm Craftle. I have been crazy busy working, so I might be back to streaming soon if I get this Wednesday back permanently. Other than that, random videos going up on YouTube doing a Lost Planet 3 playthrough, so you guys can look at that if you want to. You don't have to. It's fine. Other than that, yeah, you can find me here most Wednesdays. I'd like to say all Wednesdays, but that's
Just as a note,
don't
it's
know.
a day for us here.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, that's me. Next person.
Kyoga.
I'm Iron Man, bitches.
Um,
I'm nowhere on the internet really, but hopefully that'll be changing soon. As soon as I have a few things that are worthwhile to put up, summary videos and stuff. Finally got my paperwork again, so hopefully that'll happen soon. Otherwise, just get all one of these people. They probably know how to get a hold of me. Otherwise, I'll be on Steam. Talk to you later. Bye.
I'm gonna do a quick plug for Raytog, seeing that he's not here. He did put up a new video explaining where he was on YouTube and what was going on with him. So if you are missing our lovely wolf pup, feel free to check him out.
Woof.
Wolf. But he is also currently playing more Destiny, I think is his latest
I
thing.
think.
He hooked on that, then never getting rid of him on Destiny.
But you can find him also at Twitter and twitch.tv, Raytog, and his YouTube channel I have a link to because I don't think he has enough followers yet on his YouTube to actually get a URL tag, unfortunately. Then, of course, I am Almirmiel, also known as Kat, and I can be found here on twitch.tv/Almirmiel, at Almirmiel for the Twitters, and power button for YouTube. All of previous episodes of /chat podcast, my /camps, my /plays and role plays can be found on power button. I also will be back here in roughly 45 minutes to an hour to do some gameplay. Waybot. What? Why is it not? It should work. Why is Waybot not working? I'll figure it out later. Powerbot just decided not to do it. Anywho, yes, so... Oh, it just took it forever. So I shall definitely see you again next week for a /chat podcast. And later on here for some gameplay. So stick around, and I shall see you guys in roughly 45 minutes. So have a good one. Thanks for stopping in.
See ya.
Bye-bye.